Good morning and welcome to Follow Your Brush. I thought I'd have you join me as I figure out what am I going to do next. This is an adventure and that's what I like to do. I like to explore my paints, my subjects, and that's how I learn best. So I thought I'd take you along with me again today. Yesterday I found a beautiful little leaf. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Laying in the parking lot. We don't really have lots of landscapey type pictures as yet. Here's the leaf I found. It even has some little water droplets on it, which was so pretty. So I picked that up and brought it home. And last night I did a few versions. I just was playing. And as always, I'm never happy with my first tries. This was just, actually on this one, I held it up and traced the shadow. I don't have the leaf with me right now, but to get the shape. And then I just played, and my water droplets are sadly lacking. So I'm going to play again today. But then the other thing I did last night before I went to bed was I actually traced my little leaf several times on this piece of paper. This is an Arches watercolor journal. They're 6 by 10, so that's what I'm using this morning. I traced the leaf in several positions, filled it in with Potter's Pink, which may sound strange for a fall color, but I think it gives a nice base. And then I added some rose madder in between my leaves. So today I wanted to just come back in and add some color to this. I'm not sure where or what, but that's what my channel is all about. For those that are asking and exploring in a similar fashion, let's explore together and see what we can do. I'm going to start with this one here on the side because I don't want to go right to the middle in case I'm really messing up. I'm going to add just some water on this, a little bit of water. Again, this is my brush from Tracy Levinson. I'm not doing all the water everywhere because I want to just kind of let it drip and see what it wants to do. And my next decision is what color to come in with. I do believe that I want to try to come in with some, it's still a lighter color. It's a new Gamboge. Again, I'm using Michael Harding. As you can see, these are so pigmented. Just a little tiny bit goes a long way. Just going to let this kind of plop down and sit in here. That's one reason I don't do just one leaf, because I need to let this dry, and if I only have one that I'm working on, then my tendency is to overwork it. I am going to add a little bit of a darker color though. My new best friend on my Michael Harding's paints is burnt sienna. I'm finding I can just use that to darken, to blend with other colors, to give some depth. And it's a wonderful, wonderful color. I've actually had to refill my little pan because I was using it up. It's great for blending with blues to get a nice neutral. And it's just a beautiful color. That's the burnt sienna from Michael Harding. And as you can see, these are blending together beautifully on the paper, kind of giving me an impression of a fall leaf, I think. Fall comes a little later here in Georgia, so when I saw this little leaf on the ground, I thought, oh, I'm going to pick that up because that's really pretty. So let me just come over here and add a little bit there, and then I'm gonna leave this one alone and let it dry and see what it does. I like it. I like it. I like it. So I hope that you're having fun. This is also an exercise, and there's more than one way to do something. Like I say, it's just one little leaf, and I could just do one little leaf, but no, that's not the way I roll. So we're going to do more than one little leaf. I'm going to come in here on this side. Now I haven't wet this one ahead of time, but let's just see what we can do here. Coming in this time with the Quin Bronze. I like to play, and so that's what I'm doing. Again, this is over Rose Madder. I'm sorry, it's not over Rose Madder. It's over Potter's Pink. I did the Potter's Pink as my base color. I love Potter's Pink. I love the granulation. And it does make a nice color in my blends and landscape colors. That's the Potter's Pink I'm talking about. I'm using the I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Apologize. I'm using my, I don't know. I can't see my names right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've got this upside down, so I can't tell. I believe it's my Quin Bronze. Quin Bronze by Michael Harding. Still enjoying his paints a great deal. And I love using them. All right, I'm going to leave that one alone. And let's go to another one, shall we? Try a different color. This one I used the new Gamboge and a little bit of burnt sienna. This is the Quin Bronze over the Rose Madder. Let me try this one here. It's pretty. I'm going to go a little darker this time. I have some other colors here. I have on this palette, I have Red Ochre of France. Let's try that. See what that does. I don't want to run into this one, but I do want to leave a little bit of depth in this one. See if I can just show where have it look more of a leaf appearance, and they're not all solid, obviously. I've got darks and lights, and the center of the stem is darker than the edges. But you know, I'm not really going for a realistic interpretation of that, or a realistic picture of that particular leaf. I'm wanting to just come in here and play and do fall leaves. So that's what I'm doing. It's not going to be exact as that pretty little leaf was. Leaving some white spots. Leaving the white of my paper. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, but it's not an original quote. I heard it, whoops, I put my finger in my other leaf. I heard it from Jean Haynes. She says your white of your paper is like oxygen to your painting. And we know that's oxygen is important. So without doing tiny little leaf shapes or water droplets, I am coming in here with some, I'm going to come back over into this one again because I stuck my finger in it. I like the little darker color though than the bronze or the gold or the yellow. But that's okay. I can come back in and add more. I like the little, leaving the white spaces. It kind of appears as though they're water droplets. I haven't done water droplets on these. I'm going to come at this one upside down. Doesn't really matter. I do like that shade. Come in with another one. This one is Pazzouli Red. Maybe pronouncing that incorrectly. Pazzouli, Pazzouli Red. Let's see what we get with that. The stem of this was darker at the bottom and deeper in color. So I am going to attempt that a little bit with my Pazzouli Red. Let's see how we do with that. It's just, this time of year is so wonderful for choosing landscapes and trees, and in the South here we don't quite have beautiful fall landscapes to look at yet. Not yet. It's a little bit slower, but as you can see, I did have these little tiny leaves are falling off. So we're beginning. My drive yesterday was actually quite pretty as I was going through town for an appointment, because the leaves are starting to change and it had been raining. And so it was really kind of cool because the leaves, even though they're still mostly green, the trunks were wet. So the contrast of the trunks was quite interesting. They were dark, very dark. I always like to call them the skeletons of the trees. Because you see that, you know, as the leaves change. And then it won't be long before we see the entire skeleton of that tree. All right, that's all I'm going to do for that one. It does need some more color, which I will come back in a minute with maybe some of my Quinn colors. It's pretty, pretty, pretty. Let me turn this upside down and come in with one more. I'm not going to paint with you all day long. I will leave you for a bit. I'm going to come back in here actually with some of my Rose Madder. That was the color that I put in originally on these leaves. These two kind of cross each other. I'm going to come back in with some of that Rose Madder and just kind of strengthen that color up a little bit. It's a great color. I think it gives a nice background color to my autumn leaves. I hope you have found something to play with. Experiment. If anything, this little experiment today is showing me that there's, you know, there's more than one way to do one little leaf. Like you bring in one leaf and it's like, okay, so what are you going to do with that? It's only one leaf. It's not a bunch of trees. It's just one little leaf. It's not a beautiful scenery of trees, but you know, I can play with it and make it whatever I want, and that's why I like to paint. These are drying, as you can see. I'm liking, I think of all of these, I like this one the best. Now what I should do is take notes what color that was. I'm really bad at that. Might have been my red, Pazzouli Red. Let me come back in here with some of this. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Just let it go and do what it wants to do. Now this time, I'm not putting in the water drops, but I'm going to let the watercolor do it for me. I guess that's cheating, huh? But the watercolor is so cooperative. That's one of the reasons I like it, is you just kind of do what you want to do. And then the watercolor finishes your painting for you. Do I plan ahead? Yeah, I do. I did obviously planned ahead when I put these on here last night. I traced them. Actually, what I did was I held my leaf to the light and traced the shadow on the paper. And that's how I got my shapes, rather than trying to freehand it. I like this one. See, the more I do, the better I like it. Oh, I like that one. I like we always say, find something you like. And Angela Fair says, let the beauty live. In other words, when you see something you like, stop and don't ruin it. I'm really good at that. I like that color, and I like this leaf, and I think it's probably going to dry beautifully and give me the appearance of some water drops, maybe. Okay, one more, and then I'm going to leave you and let you go play with your own colors and have some fun. Let's do this one. I'm coming in with a combination of my Paisley red, and my water on my brush is way too heavy. So I'm going to spread this around. Spread the love. I'm not going to pick up any more from my pan. I'm just going to use what's already here on my paper. And just move it around. So it's going to have different amounts of water. If you watched my other one on the values and controlling your colors and values by the amount of water that you use. I'm going to go back in here because I did do too much in there. And there's still plenty. And my brush, you know, my brushes from Tracy, they hold the water. So I'm going to let this just continue on. It's a great brush. Love my brushes. And all right, I like that. I like the way these are drying. I am going to come back in here before I sign off, do a little bit more on this one. This is the Red Ochre of France. Let's come back in here and deepen this a little bit. Just kind of drip and drop. You know me, I'm your dib dabber. That's what I like to do, is dib dab my way across the page. A little bit of actually kind of doing like sort of a negative painting thing where I'm going around the shapes that are already have dried. And hopefully that will give me the appearance of some water droplets without going in and doing every single water droplet. I'm liking that. So thank you again for watching and following and subscribing. And as you know, I explain often, I'm not here as a teacher, I'm an explorer, and just appreciate you coming on my adventures with me. When I first started watercolor, I did not know who to talk to, and I had so many questions. So I'm hoping that with my channel, you can join me as I explore and find out just what is this watercolor all about and what's it going to do. Thanks for coming today and stopping by and watching Follow Your Brush. Like and subscribe if you so desire, and I'll catch you later. Bye.